Mic test. Put that about there. All right. Let's back this off a bit. Okay. All right. Tonight I'm doing a thing for my 0 viewers. Let me close this. Yeah. The plan is to go and resurrect a forgotten type-in game called Vulcan Mines. This is a game that I typed in from an issue of Compute's Apple magazine in 1987 on my Apple IIgs computer. This used to be a thing where kids today may remember a thing called shareware, where you can go on the internet and you can download games to try out, or freeware, games that are just for free. You're not even trying it. It's a free game. You get the whole game. And with the internet, we can just get games whenever we want them. We can download them from wherever, but didn't used to be that way. Internet wasn't as ubiquitous as it is now. And games used to be distributed in disc format. Like, you'd go buy a magazine at the bookstore, it might have a disc taped into the it would be all in plastic. The whole magazine would be in plastic. There'd be a disc in there. And in some cases, wouldn't even be that. There would just be the text of a game, and you'd go start up your computer, fire up the BASIC, and you would type that stuff in off the page in the magazine. Computers had less memory at the time, so this was feasible. Anyway, there was a game that I used to play on that I typed in out of this issue of Compute magazine in 1987, and we won't need the joystick till later, so let's go check it. I'm gonna go display mode, and we will hide this. Okay, there's the raccoon. He's jamming. All right. I don't still have my issue of Compute magazine. So yeah, the deal is Compute magazine was a magazine about computers. They put out just stuff about, how cool computers were in the 80s. Started out being focused on Atari, and I think it was focused toward computers you could program, so not so much console machines. So like the Atari ST and computers that you could actually program in BASIC and so forth. And later, it moved on to the PC and compatibles. It also did some stuff about Apple computers, Apple IIs, Apple IIe, 2GS. And that's what I grew up with. When I was really small, I had a VIC-20, which was like the predecessor to the Commodore 64. Then later, I had an Apple IIgs. And then eventually I moved on to the PC world. But that's how I started out. So, we want to go to the books section of archive.org. If you don't know archive.org, you can find archived editions of old websites, books, whatever you want. It's a vast, valuable resource. I don't know, maybe I should donate some money to it to keep them going. Oh, you can't donate. Yeah, donate. Look, you can donate money. I should probably do that. I donate to Wikipedia because I believe that's like one of the good things on the internet. I should probably donate to archive.org too. maybe I'll read a bit more about them first. But yeah, first let's look for the thing we want. Compute magazine. Yeah, I did this already. This is already mostly done. Done stuff. Compute magazine 1987. Search. Damn you. Okay. There it is. Compute magazine issue. Blah blah blah. Computes Apple application. That's the one. I recognize it. I see that drawing. Give it to me. See, check this out. Here it is. Computes Apple. So, I believe at this time in 1987, the magazine was focused more on PCs and compatibles, but they still put out a somewhat regular issue that was called Computes Apple, where they focused on the Apple computers. This one had, it was all about Apple IIgs, man. Look at this. Apple works for everyone. Apple word processor. Apple IIgs. Making music on the 2GS. Oh man, I spent so much time. I bought a sound card for the 2GS and plugged my MIDI keyboard into it. I spent so much time trying to compose music on this freaking 2GS computer and never got anywhere. I mean, I did. I made some music, but it's crap, 16-bit. Was it even a 16-bit? Yeah, it's a 16-bit sound card. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's just the processing power. You couldn't do a whole lot. The sounds were cheesy. Okay. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Okay, so this is all about 2GS. So let's go. Okay, Vulcan Mines. Vulcan Mines. We're gonna type this in. Right? Can I skip to the page? Search inside. No, man. 2-page view, 1-page view, flip. Come on, man. Archive.org. How do I skip to a page? I'm not gonna click 99 pages. We'll just do this. Where are we? Ooh, 77. Okay. 89. This is it, right? Vulcan Mines. Okay. Vulcan Mines, fast and challenging. All machine language game Vulcan Mines features high resolution graphics and exciting sound effects. Full disclosure to my no viewers. I have already typed this game in, so you're not going to have to watch that. Anyway, this is, it's a game that runs on the Apple IIgs computer, but it's machine language, so it actually, it can actually jam. A lot of games you might find in a magazine like this would be written in BASIC, which is fine, but, it's, the processors in those Apple computers are slow, so some running in BASIC has a lot of overhead, and it's not going to run fast. It's not going to be a cool game, but this was decent. So that's why I have good memories of this game, because it was like a game I typed in that actually like played like a game should play. It was fast paced. It was fun. Let's go back. As you can see from this image, can I zoom in? The graphics aren't stellar. I thought this was a color image and they were in the original magazine, but maybe not. But yeah, it's kind of a basic game. Come on, man. They should have copyrighted Minesweeper. Oh, by the way, I have tried to find, I've Googled this guy, Brett A. Painter, programmer. I've tried to find out who he is, like if he still exists. Is he still a person that programs? Maybe. I mean, I have no idea how old he was when that he has no internet footprint that I can find. Or the guy, so I can't connect to the guy who wrote this. Anyway, here's the program, right? Okay, this is daunting. This is machine language. In fact, it's not even, this isn't even machine language. This is, I don't know what you would call it. This is basically like, so now when we write programs, we write in C or some other language, and then we use a compiler to compile that into machine code, right? And machine code is just very simplified instructions. Basically like move this bit to this bit and look in this memory location, and here's a loop, and now check the value of this accumulate. It's all very simple stuff, right? And that's what this is. This is the basic ones and zeros that go into that are the actual machine code program, the programming that the computer understands, right? Not the nice, pretty, language with verbs and adjectives that we used to program with Python or Basic or Pascal or whatever. This is the grit, man. And the way they had you type in these machine language programs in these magazines is you basically directly enter it, right? These are hexadecimal numbers. You're entering these numbers in one by one into the machine's memory. This is the memory address of the computer. It's memory address 4000. That's in hexadecimal, by the way. You can tell because you go down here and there's letters in it too. So it's crazy. So in fact, in order to enter these directly, they have a special program later. So if we read the text of this article, typing in the game, you have to enter the machine language program. You have to enter these addresses in memory and then save that block of memory addresses as your machine language program, right? And so they have this utility program written in BASIC that allows you to do that, and that's later in the issue. It's called Apple MLX. So we have to enter all these lines of hexadecimal numbers into this Apple MLX program, right? Oh, and this is a basic program, which is a level editor. It is truly, like, the fact that someone came up with this method even of, like, you know, distributing games to people, distributing software in a magazine, in a text format, right? And, you know, this isn't a bad game. Oh, it's almost forgotten. Like, I Googled for this game online, Vulcan Mines, or some kind of text reference to it. So I couldn't find it. I mean, maybe it's out there, but I couldn't find it. So I have resurrected this. So, okay, here's what we do. We have to fire up our Apple IIgs emulator, GS Plus. Bam. Okay. And let's see. I think I've already typed the game in on this. So, you know, I tested this on my own time. So let me go into the configuration of the emulator, and I'm gonna make a working copy of my programming disk. So, no, not here. Let's go to not documents. Let's go to this. Kegs. I installed GS Plus in my Kegs folder because I don't know, it's a mess. Bill's programs. I'm gonna make a copy of this, and I'm gonna call it. I'm just gonna call it test because I'm gonna delete this later. All right, and we're gonna boot that. So basically, what this is this is an image of a 3.5-inch floppy disk that has the basic programming language on it. So if we boot that, config, control, alts, yeah. So I just rebooted my emulator there. Okay, and the command to list what's in the. Okay, we got. Oh, you know what? I do. Maybe this is a good time to plug in my joystick. All right. restart this emulator just because I want my joystick to work. Booting here. Disk configuration. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cat here. Okay, so we have. Can I see the mouse cursor? I can't see the mouse cursor in the emulator, so I can't show you what I'm pointing at. But you see there in the window, we've got ProDOS and a basic system. Those are the two files that you need on a disk to basically boot into a basic prompt here. We have a basic prompt is what's going on, right? So, yeah. See, it's an interpreter. It's a language. It's a prompt, right? Command line. That's what we have going on here. You can type in the lines of a program. This programming doesn't even work this way anymore, but yeah. So here I am at this prompt. I can start typing in a program. I just have to give a line number, right? So basic programs at this time had line numbers. We don't even do that now, right? Python doesn't have freaking line numbers. It's a text file. Okay. But yeah, I'm all right. 10. Print hello, right? No, wait. No. There's a better program. Bill is great. Yes. 20. Go to 10, right? List. There's my program. Run it. Bill is great forever. Okay. This is basic programming. So, we're going to type in the programs here, but we're not actually going to type them in, right? Because I've already done it. So, in order to make this work, right, we have to type in all this machine language code. But first, in order to enter that machine language code into the emulator's memory, right, I can't just type in this program in some kind of file and then bust it into the emulator. I actually have to type it directly into the emulator. There isn't a better way of doing this. As far as, unless, maybe there is, but I haven't found a good way. I have some software called CiderPress, where I can actually put text. I can put text files onto a disk image that I can then open in the emulator, but it's pretty unreliable. Blah blah blah. Okay, so what I need to do first, before I can enter this machine code that you're looking at here, is I need the utility program that allows me to enter those little machine code numbers into memory. It's on page 122, 124. Keep going. We're close. Oh, Apple MLX. This is the machine language entry program, right? There it is. So what this program is it's a basic program. It is in the basic language. Is what I mean by that, by saying it's a basic program. It basically allows you to type in the machine language code we saw in the Vulcan Mines article, and then it basically takes those values that you type in and it inserts them into the memory locations you specify, and then it allows you, and by inserting those values into those memory locations, you are basically building the program up bit by bit, right? Literally, like bit and byte by byte, right? You're entering it physically into memory, just like character by character. It's crazy, man, that they did this. And then it also allows you to save the segment of memory that you've now entered as a binary machine language file, right? I don't know if they even actually had compilers written for the Apple II or Apple IIgs in the sense that we understand them now. They had what are called assemblers. I know. I had a book on programming and machine language for the Apple II for the 6502 processor. And it talked a lot about using a built-in assembler that was built into the 2GS called the mini assembler. So you basically you'd get into the machine language prompt, and then you could fire up this mini assembler, and you could type in this sort of it was like a programming language. It was a very simplified programming language that could then be compiled into machine code very easily. So it was sort of a mini compiler built into the 2GS's memory or something. So, but man, I'm really just digressing. Okay. Anyway, what we need in order to enter our Vulcan Mines program is we need to first type in this machine language entry program, Apple MLX. Fortunately for my 0 viewers, I have already typed this into a text file, and I can just paste it into the emulator, right? So let's clear out the memory with the new program, the new command, sorry. Also, I'm gonna load my JTest program just to make sure my joystick is working. What does this thing do? It prints the outputs of paddle 1 and paddle 0. So what that allows me to do is go to my joystick, twiddle, thumbstick, and see that it is in fact being read by the emulator. Okay, that's good. Control C, break. New. Now we're gonna enter this machine language program by going to Documents, Projects, Apple 2GS Programming, Vulcan, Apple MLX. Open this with the old notepad. An update package. There's always an update package available. Not right now. Okay. So here I have typed in the entire Apple MLX basic program. I did that ahead of time. I'm just going to copy that and paste it in. Oh yeah, look at that. So yeah, F5, if you want to emulate an Apple 2GS, if there are people out there who want to do that, Kegs 32 is a good emulator. I'm using GS Plus now, the SDL version, and I like that a lot too. In either of those, I think F5 will paste directly into the emulator window, which is a pretty useful thing because I haven't found a good way to upload programs onto disk images. I have a cider press, which supposedly it can read things from disk images, so it can read text from disk images, which that is useful, but it cannot. I've tried pasting text into text files. I've tried pasting text into basic files, and slamming them into images using cider press, and it just comes out as garbage. So don't do that. Just paste directly into the window. So look. There's my program. It's all there. So let's save Apple MLX. Let's give it that name. And cat. There it is. All right. It's saved. So. Now, what we would do if we were doing this for real is go back to the article program is Vulcan Mines. Oh, and we would start typing it in. Here is the program Vulcan Mines. Fortunately for my 0 viewers, I've already done the work. Boom, Vulcan Mines. There it is. I will post these text files somewhere on the internet. Maybe I'll upload this VOD as a YouTube video, and in the comments post links to these files, because hey, I remember this game from a kid and I thought it was good, so I think it should be out there. I'm gonna respond to a text message here. Ice cream time. Need anything else? No, I'm good. All right. So, what I would do to type in this program, let's go to my emulator. I would run Apple MLX start address. Start address. If I go to the article, starting address. Start by typing in program on the Vulcan Mines program. Load and run Apple MLX. Then answer the starting and ending address prompts with starting address 4000, ending address 459F. End address 459F. Boom. Oh, I think I have to be caps. Okay. Capital F. Enter data display. Okay, we're going to enter data from address 4000, the beginning of the file. It lets you start and end from wherever. Ooh, I goofed up. 495F. Let's quit. Run. 4000-495F. Okay. Enter data from address 4000. Now we're going to paste in that data. Alright, this is the Vulcan Mines program. Copy all of it. Copy and paste. Alright. Boom. Okay. And that's what it's doing. It's pasting in every line. The program actually checks each line. I had to what's interesting about the code in this magazine is that this Apple MLX program has sort of a check feature in order to allow you to make sure that you have not entered the code incorrectly. Okay, yeah. So you can see the address is increment by 8 bytes, but there's actually 9 bytes in a line. The 9th number in the line, the 9th hexadecimal number, the 9th column that you see going up there, is actually a checksum sort of thing. It is a number that there's a weird mathematical function in that Apple MLX program that takes the address value, right? The address that the bytes are being entered into, and also has something to do with sort of like the sum of all the values in the line, and it uses it to calculate a number. It's basically a hash. It's a hash number that is related to the address value and the value of all the numbers you're supposed to enter. So if you enter a number wrong, right, like if you have a typo, that number will be different. It won't match up, and Apple MLX will not let you continue. So only the first 8 numbers in each line are actual code. The last number is this checksum value. So I don't know, maybe that's important for this file that I post online. At any rate, I don't think I'm going to allow this thing to paste all the way in because it's going to take too long. Instead, I'm going to break. Oh my god. I hit Control C, but I think it's still pasting data, so the program is just reading each of those inputs and just going back into the menu loop because none of the inputs match what it expects. So rather than what I would do if I were entering the program from scratch is I would paste the Vulcan Mines program you just saw, this guy, and I would paste each of the Vulcan Mines levels, of which there are 6 initially. And then I would also paste in the Vulc Edit program, which allows you to edit Vulcan Mines levels, which is pretty cool. You can create your own levels. I'm not going to do that too long. Instead, I'm just going to go to the disk image where I've already done all this. Boom, boom, boom. Vulcan Mines. And play that shit. this to be big. So, this is probably a Twitch faux pas, but I'm gonna go to OBS. I'm gonna do, where's a window? Do I have a window capture object here? Let's window capture. Do that. GS plus, which one is it? BM14. There you go. Yeah. Ah, boom. Okay. Okay, let's hide the display. And let's put this guy there. Okay. I like it. Let's play Vulcan Mines. B-run. That's how you run a binary file, Vulcan. Joystick or keyboard. You know joystick. Uh-oh. I'm running in the emulator too fast. Alright. Got this working. Let's play some Vulcan Mines. These generators continue to produce mines. Destroying all the when you get hit by it, it makes it noise is so good. And you start over at the beginning. Okay. I don't even know if you can quit this. How do you quit? Escape? Do you die? How do you quit the game? You can't quit. How do you quit the game? Play the game. Vulcan Mines notes. After you've completed the highest level, the game continues by returning to the first screen, but with a higher difficulty factor. You can't ever press Control Reset if you want to stop playing. Or either play again. Control Reset. And we're done. Yes. Well, that's Vulcan Mines. So, there you go. Forgotten Apple IIgs type-in games, Vulcan Mines. I'll post a link somewhere to the text versions of the files, and maybe even a disk image of the disk you just saw, so that this game by Mr. Brett A. Painter can live on. Thanks. Oh, no mic audio? No mic audio, huh? None at all. No mic? How about now? You getting it now? Is that better? Alright, well, I'll mess with my sound setup. Thanks. Next time, maybe. Oh, good. Thanks, buddy. I don't have a regular streaming schedule, but thanks for dropping in. Take it easy.